Hey everybody, how's it going? Matthew Kadish here, author of the Earthman Jack Space Saga, available over on Amazon.com. And in this video, we talk about a whistleblower who's claiming that Disney is artificially inflating their earnings, particularly with their theme parks, to the tune of billions and billions of dollars. Is there anything to this rumor, and could this explain why Disney announced that Star Wars Galaxy's Edge has underperformed? Well, we dig into it in this video with our expert panel. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's move on to our next thing, which is a little bit of a inside Hollywood thing as well, and that is this article from Fortune magazine, where it says, "Magical accounting. Here's what we know so far about the whistleblower allegations at Disney." And this is by Eric Sherman. And for those of you who don't know, a whistleblower came out from Disney's accounting department claiming that Disney overinflated their earnings by $6 billion. And that they're basically pumping up the value of their company in order to defraud stockholders. And in this article, it says, Disney is supposed to be in the business of making magic, but not with its numbers. A former senior financial analyst for the Walt Disney Company has filed multiple claims with the Securities and Exchange Commission about the company's accounting practices, according to a report by MarketWatch. Sandor Kubra claims that employees at Disney falsely inflated revenue for years. Some of the methods include pretending that complimentary golf games or other free or discounted promotional services and products were paid for in full. Software flaws supposedly allowed these and other misstatements to be entered. Disney, in a statement to Fortune, denied the claims had any merit. But here's what we know so far. Little transactions, big numbers. Public companies live and die among investors by their revenues and profits. That's why regulators require full and accurate financial statements so investors can see a company's performance. Kubra claims that Disney manipulated a lot of small transactions, apparently at the theme parks, misrepresenting their actual value, and when totaled, significantly increased the company's revenues. She says she told the board, in Disney's 2009 fiscal year, the Parks and Resorts Businesses Unit showed $10.7 billion in revenue. Kubra said that the number could have been inflated by upwards of $6 billion. She claims to have reported the problem to Disney officials and the company's board. Kubra contacted the SEC in 2017 and was fired a month after. If Kubra's concerns really had been brought to a board level, you would think that if there was anything there, they would have dealt with it, said James Angel, a professor of finance at Georgetown University McDonough School of Business. Disney says Kubra was fired for cause. A company spokesperson sent a statement to Fortune that said Kubra was fired for cause in 2017, had persistently made patently false claims over 2 years, and that the claims had been thoroughly investigated and found to be utterly baseless. In addition, it also said that MarketWatch has been aware of these facts for months. Investors aren't too worried. Shares were down by only 0.12%, suggesting that investors were not terribly alarmed. Some experts that spoke with Fortune expressed doubts about the larger claims. This is the first report I've heard of, said Joseph Bonner, a senior analyst for technology, media, and communications at equities analysis firm Angus Research Company. I have to say that $6 billion sounds a little unbelievable. Disney is a master of financial engineering, Angel said. If there's a loophole available, would they have exploited it? I don't doubt it. Would they have committed financial fraud? I'd be shocked. He thought that if anything had happened, it was more likely a mid-level manager trying to push their numbers up, but that internal auditors would probably have uncovered the practice. The whistleblower says she's met with the SEC multiple times. Kubra told MarketWatch she had multiple phone and in-person meetings with SEC personnel, and this could be the type of whistleblower report the SEC would take seriously, although there is no evidence that the agency is even undertaking an investigation. If they get a complaint from a financial analyst at a publicly traded company alleging accounting irregularities, my bet is that they would give it a second look rather than quickly dismissing it, said Amy Dunbar, General Counsel and Chief Compliance Officer at Bel Air Investment Advisors and former SEC enforcement attorney. And who knows what she told the SEC? She could have a lot more detail. So ever since this story broke, people have been pointing to the disappointing Q2 or Q3 numbers that Disney just recently had for their theme parks, where Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, launched. It underperformed. Disney had, didn't perform as well as expected, and people are pointing to this as proof that Disney is cooking the books. Now, what I want to know from you guys, my expert business analysis panel, is who should we believe here? Should we believe the whistleblower? Should we believe Disney? And do you think that there's any merit to these claims? So, Jay, you were just at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Why don't we start with you, because you have firsthand knowledge of how the park is doing.
Now let the hate boner flow through you.
Well, I got an early access pass, and my brother hooked that up. So, in your face, Christopher Harloff, who complained about not getting his own. So, in your face, right here. And so we got. I was able to get like 2 cantina drinks, 2 glasses of milk, a green and a blue. They didn't give me a bag, which I really wanted, but my brother, we were able to buy stuff at like a huge discount. So my brother bought one of those holocrons and those things like that. And listen, man. I hate The Last Jedi. I was trying to be as honest as I could about Galaxy's Edge. It's a one and done. Like, there's no excitement to go back. You literally got to walk through the mall to get to the Millennium Falcon. So when you make it, and then if they tuck the Falcon away, so it's kind of like when you make a right, it opens up, and you're like, okay, that's cool. Like, it was beautiful. It was everything I want, but once you take all the photos and you look at it, you're kind of like, all right, what else is there to do? We'll go. Then you got to walk back through the stores. The ride is terrible. Like, I can't believe they messed that one up. So I just think that my brother, who's not like into all this fandom and all this stuff, his honest opinion was they better rebrand this in a couple of years, because it's
all right. So this report about the fraud was primarily focused on the park end of things, where this whistleblower said, hey, Disney inflated their park revenue by $6 billion. Mr. Nerd, what do you think about that? Do you think it's possible to inflate revenues by $6 billion, especially for something that is as popular as the Disney parks?
I'm not an accountant, so I can't claim some kind of expertise on this. But my knee-jerk reaction is, what are the taxes on $6 billion you got to pay for claiming that as a profit that you didn't make? Like, that sounds really counterproductive for your company, and it doesn't sound like a good business model at all, even if you are trying to fool your investors. Like I said, my knee-jerk reaction is this is probably bull crap. That person seems like a disgruntled employee. She was fired. I think one of the articles I read said that she was fired for taking her coworkers to HR on unsubstantiated claims of all different types, I suppose. So it sounds like this person is just trying to get attention, especially with the amount of clout that Disney has and the amount of backlash that comes with big companies like that. And I don't buy it, but I mean, if it comes out later that something's true, it's probably going to be substantially less than $6 billion. It'll probably be, like they said, some mid-level manager trying to cook some books to make himself look better, to get a promotion or something. I don't think it's going to be company-wide. I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, like to add up all these small things like, golf passes and stuff like that to equal $6 billion. I mean, how many of these freebies were they giving out?
That's a lot of golf. That's a lot of golf.
Yeah. Mr. Vader, what do you think about this in terms of like, do you think that Disney is discrediting a legit whistleblower, or do you think this whistleblower is kind of like she's got a vendetta of some type?
Like Salty said, I am far from a expert in this area of things. I don't know. I think it just sounds kind of crazy. I think she's probably full of crap. It's just, I don't know, really. It seems crazy. I feel like they $6 billion, that's a lot of $25,000 droids they sold at Galaxy.
But over how many years is this $6 billion supposed to be added up, though? That's my question, because I have a little different outlook on this. So,
yeah, well, I mean, it's probably a couple years. But Tom, let me ask you this. So typical Hollywood accounting, they try to tell people that they don't make as much money as they normally do.
Oh, yeah.
But like with this one, it does have to do with the Disney parks, and the Disney parks are a huge part of Disney's profit. So what are your thoughts on this?
Like, I got to go here soon, so I'm going to try and keep this as quick as possible, because I think you have another story you want to touch on yet. But there's a few key points I want to approach here with this. Now, I don't know how accurate this is, but one report I heard said that to kind of answer when I can't remember if it was Jay or Salty who brought it up. I think it was Salty about the whole tax thing counterintuitively. Well, what they would do was supposedly or allegedly would take things like merchandise, which are higher taxes. They would re-ring them up in the system as food, so there's less tax taken out. And right there's profit in their pocket. So there was a lot of little things like that go into this. And again, now the other point I want to touch on, this lady worked for the company for 18 years. It's not like she was just there for a few years. This was a career. And even if she did turn in people to HR, it seems like they didn't have any problems with her turning people into HR as long as they were working for her. But now the moment she's a whistleblower, she's the worst person that they ever had working for, but they let her work for them for 18 years. So that part doesn't make sense. Now, as far as cooking the books on this, oh yeah, companies do this kind of shit all the time. They get caught all the time. And do I think this is real? Yeah. Now the 6 billion, I think that's a number that's added up over years and years and years and years. I don't think that's like a 1-year deal. I really don't. The other part of this, again, is if the SEC is going to investigate it or not. That's the main question. According to Disney, they said they investigated it and found nothing wrong. That's Disney investigating it, though. Of course, they're not going to find anything wrong, and even if they did, they're not going to say it publicly. Now, do I think this is something that could spread into other parts of the business? Oh, hell yeah. We've seen similar tactics, if it's true, according to some people, when it came to, well, look at everything that surrounded Captain Marvel, for instance, everything. And I mean, despite any parts of it, you can say, oh, that's just conspiracy. There's too much circumstantial evidence piled on top of circumstantial evidence piled on circumstance to say that there's not at least some type of small fire there. So to think that a company like this could do something like this is out of the realm of possibility. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. They probably do it every day. It's just, I've worked at so many different businesses and places where I've been asked to do shit like this myself. And in fact, you'll get in trouble for it and they'll throw your ass under the bus. Trust me. It's just a matter of who says what first and where. And as far as the movie business goes, like Matt was saying, it all depends on who's asking. That's how much money they made or lost. It all depends on who's asking.
All right. So it is an interesting thing because people are pointing at this as like Disney trying to cover their butts for lower than expected earnings potential and whether or not this is going to affect them going forward. But I mean, at this point, who knows? I don't think this is going to go anywhere. And if there is something, I'm sure the SEC will find it out. But it just seems odd to me that such I think Disney's the 5th biggest company in America. I'm not sure they'd be able to get away with something like this if it was actually true.
It's all
really little things. See, there's the little details. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, Matt Vader, but yeah, it's in the little details. Because this has been long enough. When I worked for Movie Gallery, they pulled shit like this. They pulled shit like and they're a dead business now, so I'll fucking say it. I don't care. It's been long enough. They used to pull shit with the cards. They would do a lot of like gift cards and crap like that. They would pull that kind of shenanigans. And they used that as part of the reason why they fired me just before the company went under, as to one of the reasons they fired me, because I did a quote unquote gift card incorrectly. So they saw it as theft to the company. It's like, you motherfuckers were the one telling me to do this shit. Oh, it was a big blowout, and I was almost part of some civil suit, but it don't matter anymore. I walked away from the whole thing I just washed my hands of the whole situation.
Matt, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, so they just bought Fox, right? And wouldn't there have been a lot of like investigations looking into this kind of thing prior to?
There was an antitrust investigation to make sure that it was a legal merger, I believe, by the SEC or FCC, something like that.
So, I mean, I just think if there was some shenanigans going on, I would think that it would have been brought up at that point.
But that's what I was getting to, is that's how they hide this stuff. They hide it in ways that you won't find it. And that's what this whistleblower is trying to say. I believe if they actually are doing it. That was my point. Sorry.
Hey, thanks for checking out this video. I hope you got a lot out of it. And remember, if you want to support the channel, please check us out on the socials. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Matthew Kadish. You can also find our discussion group over on Facebook at eggfbgroup.com. That's eggfbgroup.com. Takes you right to our Facebook discussion group. And if you'd like to help support the channel, check out my books over on Amazon.com. You can find them by going to kadishbooks.com. That's Kadish books.com. And as always, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time we upload a new video for more movie, TV, and entertainment news and analysis. This is Matthew Kadish. I'll catch you guys later.